I'll never forget the moment I realized how much I was relying on my travel insurance. I had been backpacking through Southeast Asia for a few weeks, living out of a backpack, staying in tiny ghost houses, and getting by on the cheapest street food I could find. I felt free, untouchable. But then, in the middle of a hike up the mountain, it hit me. I'd been feeling a little off for a few days, headaches, dizziness, chills, but I pushed it down. You know the feeling, right? That urge to just keep going, keep pushing through because you're fine. Well, I wasn't fine. I collapsed on the trail. I couldn't breathe. My legs felt like they were giving out. There was no cell service, no help in sight, and I was in the middle of nowhere. I thought, this is it. I remember that moment so clearly, laying there, wondering how I was going to get out of this mess. I tried to sit up, but everything spun, and I realized I might be in real trouble. I pulled myself together as best as I could and somehow managed to find a small village nearby. One of the locals helped me get to the nearest clinic, and after a long wait and a few tests, I found out I had contracted a severe infection from a contaminated water source. I was terrified, not just because of the medical scare, but because I was alone. I had no idea how I was going to pay for this. The bill was mounting, and I was starting to freak out. That's when I remembered. I had travel insurance. I'll be honest, I had bought it kind of on a whim before the trip. It wasn't a big decision. It seemed like something I was supposed to do, you know? Something I'd throw in the bag in case of an emergency. But in that moment, as I sat in the clinic, I realized that this was the moment it was going to come through for me. I called my insurance provider, and in less than 10 minutes, they were on the line. They connected me with a doctor who was ready to treat me immediately. They arranged for the clinic to start the 4 fluids I needed and helped coordinate everything. It felt surreal, but here's where it gets crazy. The next day, a rep from my insurance company was checking in with me. Not just once, but multiple times. They arranged for transport to a larger hospital nearby, and when I started to feel better, they made sure my medications were covered and the medical bills were paid directly. It was like having an invisible support system behind me, all the way on the other side of the world. When I think back to that moment, it blows my mind how different it could have been. I mean, here I was in a foreign country with no family around, in serious pain, and honestly no real plan. And that's when I learned how critical it is to have solid travel insurance. It's not just about lost luggage or flight cancellations. Those things are easy to laugh off. It's about you, your health, your safety, and the unexpected moments when you need to trust someone else to have your back. I don't talk about this much, but since that experience, I've made travel insurance a non-negotiable part of every trip. It's a small investment for the peace of mind you get in return. I would never, ever take off again without it. And for me, that's why I use Auras.insure. It's the one I've come to trust, especially after my experience. No one wants to think about emergencies like that, who would? But knowing I've got a reliable support system and that they genuinely have my back makes all the difference. I'm not saying you should just trust any company, but if you're planning on backpacking or traveling anywhere far from home, I'd honestly recommend giving them a look. Not because they're paying me to say this, but because I wish I'd known about them sooner. Trust me, don't wait until you're in a crisis. Get covered and have one less thing to worry about while you're out there living your best life. And hey, if you're curious about it, I'll leave the link in the description. It's honestly been a game changer for me. Take care of yourselves out there.